Camilla, her true story, her love affair with Prince Charles rocked the monarchy. Now friends reveal he begged her to call off her wedding, wept the night before he married Diana, and how she was convinced to go back to him to preserve his sanity. One night, at a dinner party, the woman sitting next to Andrew Parker Bowles turned to him and smiled. "I'm really hurt, Andrew," she said teasingly. "I'm the only one of Camilla's friends you haven't made a pass at. What's wrong with me?" Everyone who knew the Parker Bowles well was aware of Andrew's serial unfaithfulness to Camilla, but it was passed off as a bit of a joke. It was nothing of the kind, of course. All too often, the women were indeed friends of his wife, and showed scant loyalty to her by succumbing to his charms. Yet Camilla never seemed to blame them or even have any stormy showdowns with Andrew. There was never a tense atmosphere in the couple's home, no barbed comments or bitter exchanges. Andrew's affairs were just a fact of life and not something Camilla often spoke about. It was only those closest to her who knew quite how standoffish and cold Andrew could be towards her and how deeply, bitterly hurt she was by his infidelity. She loved him for reasons her own family could never entirely fathom and longed to be truly loved in return. But she didn't feel she was. There was always someone prettier, wittier, sexier, waiting to take her husband away from her. It wasn't that Andrew Parker Bowles was reacting against the ties of marriage. He had been unfaithful even when they were just going out. Andrew was hugely fond of her and she was nominally his girlfriend, spending many weekends with him at his parents' house near Newbury in Berkshire. But he couldn't resist other women. And what was particularly hurtful was that even then many of them were Camilla's friends. Occasionally, she retaliated. One night she spotted Andrew's car parked outside the flat of one of her best friends, so she wrote a rude message in lipstick on the windscreen and let all the air out of his tires. But, curiously for such a strong and confident woman, Camilla largely put up with his behavior, possibly because she has also always been determined and stubborn. Once she had made up her mind she wanted to marry Andrew, nothing was going to stop her. 5 years later, however, there had still been no proposal. It was at this point that a good friend of Camilla's decided that she needed to meet the young and shy Prince of Wales. Lucia Santa Cruz, a glamorous Chilean historian, had got to know Charles 3 years before when he was an undergraduate at Trinity College, Cambridge. Back then, she had been working as a research assistant to the master of his college, Lord Butler. It was Butler, a friend of Lucia's father, the Chilean ambassador, who had invited her to dinner at the master's lodge to meet the prince, thinking they might enjoy one another's company. They did. They became lifelong friends, but never in a romantic way. Although Lucia has repeatedly been credited with being the prince's first lover, this could not be farther from the truth. She already had a serious boyfriend, Juan Luis Asa Bulnes, now her husband, and Charles is godfather to their eldest son. By 1971, Lucia's parents had returned to Chile and she was living on the first floor of Stack House, a block of flats in Ebury Street, Belgravia. 1 floor below, Camilla was sharing a flat with her friend the Honorable Virginia Carrington, whose father was the conservative politician Lord Carrington.